Hey guys, okay, purchased this TMG Industrial 72-inch flail mower about a week and a half ago, and it just got delivered today. So I'm in Ontario, Canada, and they're in BC. So really good shipping times, and I think their shipping is included, if I remember right. So anyway, a little bit of assembly required. This is how the driver left it. It just had plastic on it. I just ripped that off, but this is how the driver left it. So we just got to put that skid steer plate on and the front wheels here, and then we'll hook it up to the skid steer, and I'll show you a little bit more underneath, that type of thing, and then we'll use it. Adjuster, wheels, pretty solid. So they're not air filled. There's a steel rim with just a rubber sort of outer wheel. So, I think this just pins on there. And then this adjuster goes on here. So that just floats. We can adjust it here. Okay. For our wheel supports, got a 19mm socket here. Okay, let's get these wheels on. Got these spacers here for adjustment. But I'm just gonna put them like this for now, and I'll adjust them as needed. Nothing's greased. Well, these aren't greased, and a couple other fittings on it aren't greased, so I'm just gonna assume they all aren't. So we'll go through and grease everything right now. So this attachment is for 18 to, I believe, 23 gallons a minute machines. This is a Bobcat T450, and it's putting out like 16 or 16.5. A little low for this attachment, but I'm gonna try it out anyway. I've got a Whacker wheel loader that puts out 23 gallons a minute, or 26, so it should be more than enough to run this. And it's more of a mower style, like it's got mower wheels, so I think it'll be better for actually mowing. But we'll try it out on this. Okay, let's get everything greased. One right here, and this just goes to the bearing that the actual mower tube rides on. You can kind of see it when you look through here. And there's one here on the end of the roller. And one right here. All of them. So let's hook up the oil lines. Okay, so with Bobcats, the female coupler on the machine is the pressure port most of the time. So when you click the right thumb control, it pushes pressure through this one. You can obviously move it with the joystick and it doesn't matter, but just keep that in mind if you have different attachments. Other machines are different. Usually this is the pressure port. So with the way this is set up, this is your case drain. So this has oil out, which is this one. So this is oil out. This is set up properly, or whatever you want to call it, sort of good for this machine. So we'll put that on there. And so this one would be oil in. And then your case drain. So all this does is, and yeah, that's one thing you should keep in mind. If your machine doesn't have a case drain, this isn't going to be good for you, because basically a case drain lets, exactly what it says, it lets excess fluid build up in the motor from blowing out seals. It lets it go back to your tank. So this is just basically just a free flow line back to your tank. Okay, so I think we're good. Might tie this. Well, we'll see what happens first. I'll just kind of go easy with it. I'll tie that stuff out of the way later. Okay, let's fire it up and we'll try it in some sort of medium grass. Okay, we got some average height grass here. So pretty heavy. I don't know. Some of the green stuff here, 6-8 inches, I guess. Then it's got some heavy growth over there. It's got little trees in it. So we'll just try it on this first, but the idea is to be able to cut that stuff over there, that really heavy, tall stuff. That stuff's like a couple feet tall, but we'll try it here first. Okay guys, so just did a few passes up through the field there. So not too impressed with the cut quality, but it has a lot to do with the power of the machine. So it's just the flow coming out of that T450 is just way too slow. So we're gonna have to hook it up to a bigger wheel loader once I get it here in a couple of days, and I think it'll do a much better job cutting. So for example, when I slowed right down and the machine could actually stay ahead of the grass coming towards it, it did not too bad of a job. Like, I mean, that grass was, like I said, 6 to 8 inches tall, and it did a nice job going up through the field there, but I was going like painfully slow, as you could probably see in some of those clips. Let's just go look at the mower itself. Also, I should point out, very rainy day today, so not a really good day to be cutting grass. This back roller here is just totally covered in grass, and that's because this well, A, because it's probably not cutting as well as it should be, so the grass clippings are a lot longer than they should be. And this bar here, this piece of angle that normally scrapes the, let me get this cleaned off here. Okay, so there's the actual roller right there, this tube. It rolls along the ground, and then this piece of angle here is supposed to be down and scraping it as it comes, as the grass gets built up on it. But the bolts here, they moved out of the way, and the whole thing just moved out of the way. So I was getting all this clumping happening in the back here. So what I'll do is I'm going to clean this all out. I'll reset this bar back down, and then I'm going to go to the hydraulics store, and I'm going to pick up couplings that go onto the high flow of the WL32 whacker. And when I get back here, we'll try it. Hopefully it's a drier day, and I think it's going to work a lot better, because I mean, I'm pretty impressed with the design and everything of this. It like I said, when you're going really slow and the hydraulics of this machine are able to stay ahead of it, it cuts very well, even with the hammer style teeth for grass. So happy with the machine, not happy with the performance today. Okay, if any of you guys are interested, I just cleaned the whole bottom of this out, and I noticed that I broke a couple blades here. We hit a rock. So I'm going to pick up a couple new ones, and once I do that, I'll give you guys the size and everything of them, because you need replacements. So one thing I did before we put it on the bigger machine is I just lowered this down about an inch more. So you just pull out, well, you pull that bolt out and loosen this one on both sides, and then this sort of just comes down. So now I just put a straight edge between right here and right here and pulled these out, so I'll have about a 3-inch cut with that setup there. So we'll try that. It's a little bit higher, it's about an inch higher than it was. I think it was maybe a little bit too low, so we'll see how that goes. Okay guys, so we're back here. I got the whacker here, so I'm just going to quickly show you what the setup is on this thing. So this has the regular flow or standard flow hydraulics here, just like the Bobcat does. So case drain, and then your male, female. So you could hook it up to that if you wanted, and that would produce 16 gallons a minute. But on this machine, it's got high flow hydraulics. So it's got this line here, and then that other blue one right there. They're both female on the machine, and they take a larger quick coupling, flat face. They're both flat face couplings, but they're larger. So this would be what you would call a 1/2-inch trade size, and then this jumps up to a 5/8 trade size. So really all that means is it's just bigger, obviously. And when I say trade size, it's not actually that big. So I'll just show you here. So on here, this is the one that's on the machine. This would be the 1/2-inch trade size, but then this diameter right at the end here is 24.5 millimeters. So that's obviously too small to fit into the high flow. So I went and picked up these fittings right here. So these are the 5/8 ones, and this dimension on them is 27 millimeters. So between here, put calipers on it. So that should fit right into this quick coupler here, which it will. I'm not going to push it all the way in, but that's the size. So we're just going to do a little bit of messing around with it, but should be pretty straightforward. So like I said, on the machine you've got the 1/2-inch standard. This right here is a 1/2-inch NPT. So because this doesn't have a 1/2 inch MPT end, it's actually got a 3/4. I just had to get a step down, so that's what that's for. So that'll screw into there. And then they didn't have another of the 5/8 with the 3/4, but they had O-ring boss, so I got an O-ring boss to 1/2 inch MPT. So basically I can go right from the skid steer flail mower to this to the high flow on the whacker. So let's get that hooked up. This has an O-ring, so it doesn't need Teflon tape. I believe this fitting is called a DIN fitting when it's metric, which this is. So that just slides over there like that, and the actual seal is made by the O-ring. So. And again, this is an O-ring boss, so the O-ring does the sealing. Okay, that should be good. Clean this up. So let's hook this up to the machine, see how it goes. Out. This is going to go back through the machine to our hydraulic cooler. Rad back to the tank. And oil in. Case grain. That'll go to the same spot, it's the same size. I'm going to open this all the way. And I'm just going to start slow because this machine has quite a bit more power than the other one. Okay guys, so overall happy with the cut with the high flow machine, or the higher flow machine. The blades spin a lot faster, and they're consistently spinning fast, so even when you get into some taller grass. As you could see, I was going at a nice speed in that 6 to 8 inch grass in the field, and then I did have to slow down when I was cutting that 2 foot plus grass with brush in it. As you can imagine, that's a lot of material, and I'm cutting it down right to 3 inches or so. So what I'm not impressed with on this machine is I would say the quality of the blades, or the hammers, whatever you want to call them. A couple of them here came right off, and that's just from hitting some probably 1 inch size brush, or shrubs I would call them, and they broke, like the bolt's still in there, but they broke right off the actual hammer. And then here you've got some breakage, like that kind of breakage. I don't think a quality blade would break like that, but I could be wrong. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some higher quality blades for this, and then hopefully that fixes that problem. So yeah, that's one thing. The other thing is, when the blades did come off there was some vibration, obviously, because it's out of balance, and this weld here sort of broke on the cover, so I'll have to take that off and just weld that back. And the other thing, I removed this scraper bar. To me, it's just unnecessary. I cut for about an hour and a half, and this is pretty clean, so I think you don't really need that. Other than that, let me just put it down. Yeah, so other than those things, I'm pretty happy with it. There's no leaks in the hydraulics. Everything seems pretty well made. The valve block there, the motor. What else? I lost this pin, actually came out, so I replaced it with a better quality one. This seems to be holding up well, and again, so I would say in total I have about 2 hours on this so far, and in some fairly rough conditions, but yeah, it seems to be holding up well. I'll do a video sort of down the road once it's got 10, 20, 30 hours on it, and we'll see how it's held up. But overall, pretty impressed with this product. And yeah, if you guys have any questions about it, just shoot me a message or leave it in the comments, and I'll try my best to answer them for you. So thanks for watching.